Hey Aries, welcome in to your reading. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to read for the first week of November. So let's see what the situation is for my Aries, please. First week of November. Show me their situation, Spirit. Guys, please leave me your comments down below and let me know if there's perhaps like some way you want me to change the channel or the questions that I'm asking in the spread, or if this is fine the way it is. Feedback is always welcomed because we too have to evolve as a channel. Now, let's see what's going on. The Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups and the Two of Cups. Oh, well, I like that. All right. Let's talk about this stuff because I think this is going to be a very important conversation with you, Aries. All right, a lot of you should be getting a little bit lucky in love right about now. But, however, I digress with this Nine of Swords. I want you to look at this picture. Does it look good? Because that's you stressing, having sleepless nights, right? The Seven of Cups, you're just kind of like torn. Which is the right cup for me? Which cup should I, fill my life with? Which cup should I do? Should I go down this path for my career? Should I, entertain this cup over here for this relationship? Should I entertain this cup to do this project? You're like, just like stress and anxiety going on. But you know what? I think you're just a little bit overwhelmed. I think it's fine. I think it's because you're processing some changes in your life and you're moving forward. And it's a little freaky sometimes, right? But here's what I like. The Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. What is that? The Nine of Pentacles? Please tell me it gets better than that. Oh, God, Aries, I'm going to yell at you, but I think it's like one of these things where you're like, you fall off the track and then you get back on. So it's not horrible. So, okay. The Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck is, whoever you're involved with or whoever, you are thinking about in a relationship. First of all, the Two of Cups tells me this person feels mutual. So regardless if you're telling each other the I love yous. So if you have doubts about them and how they feel about you, don't. They feel exactly the way you do. So maybe they're showing it to you, but they're not saying it to you, right? I don't know what's going on. I hope you're not having doubts about them because they definitely have feelings for you. Like almost to the point of soulmates. So exactly how you feel about them is exactly how they feel about you. Two of Cups. All right. But under it is the Nine of Coins, which is being single. You're like, am I single? Why am I still single? But this can also talk about financial independence, and under that is the World. That's an end to that. That's a wrap. But here's what I don't like. Death in reverse. Death in reverse under you just finished a chapter, but you're not letting go of something that died. You really, really have to. And I think you are, because once you do, you come into this place of Ten of Cups and you embrace a happy couplehood. So it's just a little bit like, you're kind of like driving through a really shitty storm. But you're coming out on the other side. You just keep driving right through it. Just keep going. You'll be fine. All right, let's see what's going on here for Aries, please. What's coming in for my Aries? Three of Swords. Yeah, the Lovers. Okay. The Lovers is, a choice, guys. You hear me talk about the Lovers all the time. Yes, they were destined to you. And you are destined to them because you're both learning something from each other. Perhaps different things, but, albeit needed to learn. But despite your odds, what do you choose? Do you choose to be together, or is this an expiration date posted on top of your lovership? All right, we'll see when we clarify. The Sun is here at the bottom of the deck. I can see you're happy. Leo energy. Gemini energy. But the Three of Swords talks about profound pain. Most painful card in the deck. And you're sitting there reflecting on it. So I don't know if you have this pain with this lover, or like some of you, quite literally, you are dealing with a lover and it is really killing you and hurting you at the same time, because maybe you want your circumstance to be different with this lover. Others of you, you're in pain with this lover because maybe it's ending, or I don't know what. But let me tell you something. If a lot of you, if this lover is newish, you seem to be happy. You seem to be like ecstatic. Or if this isn't you, then this is them. But I gotta tell you, under that is the Ace of Cups, fresh new start in love. And you want that, because that means it's genuine love. All right. Let's continue. And when we clarify, we'll see more specifically what it's always the clarifier that I'll know what your whole story is about. So let's continue and see what's going on. What is it that Aries doesn't see coming their way the first week of November? The King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag, like you, a fire sign trying to come in. If they're not a fire sign, there's somebody that, is coming in with passion and heat and chemistry and attraction. Three of Coins, third party situation, third angle, third individual. If this is talking about work, then it's talking about a team, collaborating with a team and a fire sign. This is not you. This is the other person, the King of Wands. The High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. I was going to say, they seem to be all-knowing, all-seeing. And then I'm looking at the High Priestess. Well, that's exactly what is all-knowing and all-seeing. But here's the thing. You might not be talking to a person, or you're not talking about the situation here with somebody. You're just using your instinct, rather than others of you are just like, what's to talk about? We said all there is to talk about. Now it's, they got to take action here. This king, though, is in the upright position, so they definitely are interested. I get the feeling the whole clarified version of this is going to tell us everything. What is the advice here for Aries, please? The World. That's a wrap. Wrap it up, Aries. And then the Sun. I love that it's lingering back here, the Sun. This is freaking fantastic, Aries. It's like almost as if your happiness is guaranteed. We are going to have a Mercury retrograde soon in like a few weeks, but you know what? It's going to affect mostly the fixed signs and the mutable signs, not really the cardinal signs. So if there's miscommunication, it's perhaps coming from that direction versus from you. I don't know how it affects you yet. I have to look into it. But I don't know. I don't feel bad vibes. I don't feel anything bad. I just feel like you are doing you. You're churning it out. You're doing your thing. But I feel like you're also getting stronger mentally. Some of you even physically. Like you're really just changing it all up. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I feel like a haircut and maybe I'm going to dye my hair purple. Why not? Let's throw spaghetti up against the wall, see what sticks. But the interesting thing is, stick with me on that concept, because the World is here. It's time to end the chapter. I want you guys to remember when you were younger, when you were in your teens or when you were in your 20s, and if something fell apart or something failed, inside you didn't give a fuck. Because you knew that no matter what, you were going to get up and get going, and your success was guaranteed. Oh, if it didn't work out in this relationship, well, I know it's going to work out over there, right? But as we get older, we collect baggage, we collect wounds, we collect pain, and we kind of are stuck a little bit there on the pain and the wounds and the things that we recently suffered. And you're like, I'm not doing that again. Well, good. You learned the lessons. But this is what it's saying. Now I need you to remember the lessons, but be able to feel like you did when you were a teenager or when you were in your early 20s, when you didn't give a fuck. You can erase somebody. Like 2 minutes later, be like, okay, it's over. I'm done. Now it's time to start a new chapter. It's time to start a new life. Let me get excited. Let me see what else is out there. The world. That's a wrap. If it's not a wrap, make it one. The sun. Because the sun is trying to come in for you. All right. I want you guys to remember also too, sometimes you can't control your external environment. You can't control what the other person is thinking or doing. All you can do is control what you say and do and what you want. So it sucks to miss the mark ever so slightly here with somebody because, I don't know, they're just, you say you're a perfect match, say you're a perfect couple, Aries, but they decide to go a different direction. Maybe that's their life lesson. Maybe that's their homework. Maybe that's what they need to do. Does it suck for you? Yeah, it fucking sucks. But you know what? You should feel good knowing that you're on a different frequency, a different vibe, that you're guaranteed to meet somebody on that vibe, that frequency. And life's going to be so much better, easier. Food is going to just taste better. Flowers are just going to smell better. The fucking air is just going to be cleaner for you. That's what I'm saying here. Guys, sorry for all the expletives. But I digress. I need you guys to empower yourselves and to feel that energy and tap into that. That's a wrap, folks. Say goodbye. Like as if they didn't exist. I'm not saying, they weren't good people or, maybe they were bad, whatever. It doesn't matter. But for your own sanity, for your own sake, for your own sense, you might need to do that. What is this? Ooh, look at this shit. It's coming out as I'm speaking. Tell me what else for the outcome of the week, please. The Knight of Swords. Somebody rushes in to say something. This could be something as like a messenger coming to deliver some information to you. Okay? Like, hey, I think you got that job. Or, hey, you've been served. Or, hey, I think I'm obsessed and in love with you. I need this relationship to be. Do you know what I mean? It's that type of energy. So either you're doing it or you're receiving it. Now, the other card that came out, and 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. But the 9 of Wands, it's like about letting go. It's about being vulnerable. It's about opening yourself up again, right? So maybe you rush out and you say something, you know what? I think I'm in love with you. You know what? I love you. And maybe you don't care what's going to happen, or maybe you'll create, I don't know, like this 10 of Wands, a burden of some kind here. But no, what you're actually doing is gaining strength. And then you're learning to become immune. And you're learning that wounds heal a lot faster because you're facing demons. But, it's funny. I posted this thing in my stories on Instagram. Now I put it in my feed. In order to be eligible for the new stuff that comes in our life, we have to scrap the old stuff or we're bound to repeat it. All right, go see it. I thought that it was a great clip. But yeah. All right, let's start clarifying this stuff. Please clarify for me for Aries, the 9 of Swords, 7 of Cups, please. And you know what's interesting for me? The only major arcana you have is actually in your advice position. Oh my God, Gemini had one in every position. Sometimes when I see that much major arcana, that's a little scary for me. That means you're falling off the rails. It's like, holy shit, this person needs super protection or help, or they're getting a lot of manifestation happening in regards to helping that person out. You don't have that. You have a lot of free will shit going on. But between all the stuff I'm seeing there's a bunch of swords. There's a bunch of swords. One wand, one coin. But it just seems like you're more or less, from what I'm seeing versus what's missing here, it almost feels as if like you're maneuvering. Like you're bobbing and weaving. Lover, relationship, this, that, job. But it just kind of looks like up and down, as opposed to a merry-go-round when you're on it and you keep repeating a pattern. Thank God you're not on that. I think you're just like bobbing and weaving. I think you're ending something and beginning a new life. I think you're making some sort of attempts here, though, at the first week of November. We'll see what that's all about. What's the 9 of Swords and the 7 of Cups for Aries, please? I almost like it because it almost feels like everything is like calming down. Everything's like tempering down. Um, Four of Wands, the King of Cups. Yeah. All right. And the Three of Wands in reverse. All right, nice. So, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. They don't have to be water, but this is somebody who's in love, emotionally mature, somebody emotionally available, who, by the way, wants to upgrade your relationship. They have arrived. Three of Wands in reverse. Those ships you've been waiting for, here they are. Here they are. Right? I don't know why you're stressing, though, trying to see what's the right fit. Oh, are you involved in two people, like your ex and then this new person? Here's the other king. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Might I tempt you with this individual who's also in the upright position? They don't have to be an air sign. This is just somebody more who's inquisitive. Somebody who's, no, actually that's an Aries thing. But yes, they're inquisitive, but then they feed that knowledge. So this is somebody cerebral, smart, fair, balanced, honest, also in it to win it. Oh, look at that. An Ace of Cups. A fresh new start in love. Guys, I see just positivity. But I see you stressing, and I think the stress is coming from a place of like, what should you do? Like, what's the right fit for you? What's the best option for you? I think for you, obviously, you're going to get your answer once your mentality changes into doing what your advice says. Right? All right, Three of Swords and the Lovers. And if you fuck up, I promise you what's meant for you won't pass you by. So if you pick the wrong person, somehow the universe is going to be like, okay, they see the error of their ways. They're going to go back and they'll make it happen. Or not, because it wasn't meant to be. Three of Swords, the Lovers. Because you have no idea if the other person has to do their own homework or, take a nice little stroll down the, dark night of the soul. That's their business. You don't want to be there for that. Maybe Spirit's like, no, you want to take a stroll with somebody where you can watch beautiful sunsets and horizons happening. Something much easier and better and nicer for you. Anyway, back to you. Three of Swords and the Lovers is talking about somebody resisting being in a lovership. Somebody resisting an affair. Somebody saying, you know what, although it fucking hurts me like a bitch, I'm not going to engage. I'm going to learn from this life lesson. Some of you, here's another king. Somebody here could be also married and separating and maybe having an affair. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, Aries. It could be them. And you could be saying to yourself, I don't want to fucking be caught in the middle of that garbage. It's not for me. Or maybe it's you and they're saying that about you. They don't want to be caught up. But somebody here is resisting a lover and saying, you know what? No. I don't think I want to be like a lover or in this third party dynamic or work in a team. And because my team has this one asshole on it and I just know. It's heartbreaking because it feels like a loss in a way. But it also feels like something that you're doing to yourself as your betterment. I don't know. It's bizarre. Yeah, there's guilt and regret tied to it. What's the King of Wands and the Three of Coins? Thank you, Spirit. This King of Wands, this other person, this attraction, this passion that you're having here with somebody else, you're coming in like nurturing, loving, and kind and caring. And I think you're doing all that because I think you're seeking stability, Aries, right? But again, there was a third dynamic. Now, the interesting thing is somebody comes back to vindicate you and validate you, say, you know what? I think I want to have this. Others of you, you're just, your day of karma has arrived. Justice is coming in. Something, if you've been treated unfairly, now the thing is coming in. Guys, I don't know, for some of you, it's raining relationships. I see a lot of court cards and a lot of kings, and they're all in the upright position. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's the earth sign. They're all here. Every sign. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. The whole kitchen sink is here for you too. Welcome in, everybody. You've arrived to an Aries reading. Let's see what the world is. And here's what Aries is going to do. The world, clarify. Speaking of Aries, Page of Wands, Sagittarius with Temperance, Scorpio with the Tower, and then the Three of Cups, and then the Fool, another Aries energy in reverse. All right. For me, this means doubts. For me, this means scared to take a risk. For me, this means like, no, you want something lined up before you jump. Like you want to know it's there. You want to see, are there pillows over there? Am I going to land on something soft? It's like wanting to know that. But in your advice, it's saying there's an end here, close of a chapter. You need to find your inner calm, your inner om, peace, find balance, be patient, need to be curious. What else is out there? Bring out the baby Aries. There they are. Baby Aries, Page of Wands. Hello. Might I tempt you to remember what it was like when you were that age and you didn't care? The world was your oyster? Kid in a candy store? Bring that back. Om, right? Three of Cups, the challenge. It came in a challenge position to have a reconciliation here regarding with someone that there was a fight, a breakup, a collapse. You have to say goodbye to towers. Disruptions happen for reasons, right? The disruption could have either been for you or the other person. Somebody here needs to do their work. I know I said this to you last week, but it's imperative that you see this as you it's like the universe wants to give you your rewards, but it's like, no, thank you. I don't want to win the lottery. No, I'll suffer here because my other person is suffering. What? Aries, no. That's a wrap. This you got to let go. It's built on napkins. Like, okay, for some of you who want to do a reconciliation here with somebody and might go back to your ex or your other person, in order for this to succeed and work, hear me good and hear me closely. You need to start from the beginning. You have to do a complete do-over. Fresh as new. As if like the person, you just met them yesterday for the first time in your lives. Like, now you're going to date again. Now you're going to be new people and, meet the new person that you were, right? Now you're going to like start unpacking baggage like you, as if you don't know them. A fresh new start in love, a fresh new start in communication, a fresh new start in passion, all of it. If you're to go back and have a reconciliation, it's got to go from square one, brand new. I'm not even talking about therapy at this point. Now I'm talking about like you're meeting them brand new, right? Because I see you hesitating. You're like, oh, well, that's a little scary out there. Yeah, all new shit is scary, always. But Spirit, highly recommending the world. If you want more on this, if you're still stuck trying to make a choice and a decision, well, she don't know it's a general reading. Oh, yeah, that's true. You definitely have to be an adult and make those life choices for yourself. But please Google the world card tarot as advice. Bam, right there. But me, when I see these combinations and I see your spread and I see what's going on first week of November, that's how I'm vibing it for you guys. All right, now the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Wands, and it's not going to resonate with everybody. Please take what does and leave the rest. Aries, the Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands, please. Yeah, the Nine of Wands in reverse came twice. That's crazy for me. That's creepy crazy. Cards are all upright. Two different decks in the same position, same exact. Not just in your outcome, but like reversed. And then the Hermit. Virgo, the kitchen sink. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it is saying that somebody delivers a message. They open up. They drop the guard. And now after that fact, you're trying to make a wise choice. It's like, okay, we've had the communication. We've done the hard part. Here we are now. Now what do I do? And a lot of you, it is based on a marriage or a commitment or a job that pays you very well. See, a lot of you do have fear of the future or the fear of the unknown. Go see that video on Instagram that I have. It talks about this perfectly. Interesting. And then there's the Ten of Wands again. And then the Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's some heavy lifting here. There's a bit of a burden for you. But, you know, that Two of Cups I saw at the bottom of the deck earlier, it's trying to come in. Whoever that is, obviously maybe we'll see them in the extended. I don't know what. We'll see. What you got here for Aries, please? Also, I finally did an Aries November reading. Go check that out. I never do monthlies. That was really good. But most of the juicy information was in the extended. I ain't gonna lie. Aries, please. All right, so yeah. Release your ex. All right, guys. I mean, that's like self-explanatory. We'll get into it in the extended, see what else it wants to say to you, because these are from Spirit, and it's like Oracle saying, well, hold on. Here's what Irene didn't tell you. I want to tell you. Thank you. If they're saying it, believe them. Aries, please. Aries, any more? Oh, okay. A few people got this card, and that's a lot of cards. I'm just so shocked that everyone's getting this. All right, be unfuckable with. Oh, I think we spoke about this earlier. If you find yourself fucked with, take a moment to reflect on what part of you is out of whack and susceptible to being fucked with. Then check that shit with some self-love. When you're filled to the brim with love, nothing anyone says or does bothers you. And no negativity can touch you. You know what that makes you? A badass, big old spiritual, non-fuckable with badass. There you go. And then, it's okay, guacamole. I'm extra as fuck too. Being extra means you give a shit. Maybe you give a shit about how fleek your eyebrows are, or you give a shit about how the environment is, or you give a shit about making your ass clap. Oh my God, I would never say that. Be extra today. Yep, that's a thing. Be extra. You walk on out there and be like, I'm feeling myself and I am myself. Yeah, I like that. All right, guys. I'll see you over at the extended. And yeah, everyone else, I'll see you next week.